Hi, welcome to Healthy Living 80/80. I am Tammy, and I'm going to talk to you today about superfoods. One in particular, actually, not all superfoods, because there's like a million out there. But one that I was first introduced to when I started this healthy living endeavor was coconut oil. So, I want to talk to you a little bit about all the benefits of coconut oil. And you can Google them and you'll get lists of like 101 benefits for coconut oil. And not all of them I've tested and proven, and I can't really attest to all of them. I'm going to give you a quick list of claims made, which seem to be backed with research and stuff, but I don't have personal experience with, but just things that if it triggers something for you, maybe you want to look more into it. And I'm going to give you a few things that I like to use it for, especially, and some like practical ways to go ahead and use it. Before I do that, I want to just mention that all coconut oil is not created equal. You definitely want organic, you want cold press, extra virgin. My favorite brand is the Vitacost brand, actually. And I get this huge tub. It's 54 fluid ounces for like around $22, $23, I think. Sometimes it even goes on sale, so like $20 maybe. And because I'm kind of a germaphobe and I don't want like cross contamination, I actually pour some of this into a smaller container I've bought. And that way I just have it, where I can scoop measuring spoons and stuff and not worry as much about it. So, and I bought some at the grocery store one time, and then I didn't know anything about it, and I was using it, and I thought everything was great, and then I bought this stuff, and when I opened it, it has this fresh aroma of coconut. And if you don't like coconut, don't be turned off by that, because most of the ways you use it, you're really not necessarily going to smell it, and then you'll find ways that it works for you or doesn't work for you, and you can kind of go from there. Another quick tip about coconut oil is that when it is cold, it gets hard, and then when it's warm, it becomes a liquid. So it's usually easier to use in its liquid form, and not to be alarmed if it starts to get hard. You can just kind of set it near something that's warm, the stove or something like that, and it will quickly dissolve. It doesn't, or not dissolve, but it will melt, and that doesn't take terribly long. So, some of the claimed benefits of coconut oil are helping prevent Alzheimer's, heart disease. It's good for high blood pressure, urinary tract infections, kidney infections, arthritis, cancer, pancreatitis, gallbladder disease, osteoporosis, diabetes. It's supposed to help with weight loss, yeast infections, and balancing hormones. It's also supposed to be really great for providing energy, and it helps with endurance. And then it lowers the bad cholesterol. And that's one thing to make a note of, is that coconut oil used to get a bad rap because it was the saturated fats, which we've been trained is a bad fat. But these are what are called MCT, which I believe is like medium. Yeah, I don't remember. So MCT, but it's a certain kind of fat that our body can readily use. So it actually is healthy for us. It helps curb appetite. Um, it's great for our digestive system. It kind of, keeps things moving, and it's very healthy for us. And you definitely want to incorporate these fats into our diet. And then it also helps you absorb fat soluble vitamins. So certain vitamins need fat in order to be absorbed, and especially a big one is omega 3s that our body needs will be absorbed so much better when you have this in your system. So those are some of the claimed benefits. And then I'm going to now share with you some of my favorite uses for it is, and actually the most recent one that I just found that I'm really excited about is, because I was just dealing with a sinus infection, is that you can actually put it into one of those sinus rinses. A little bit of coconut oil along with whatever saline rinse you're going to use. I made some concoction of colloidal silver and a drop of oregano oil. It burns a little bit, but it's very cleansing. And so I used that. It was great because coconut oil is antibacterial, it's antifungal, it's antiviral. This summer, my kids got a staph infection, and the antibiotics that the doctors had given us were not working. So I made an ointment that had coconut oil in it. It had beeswax, it had manuka honey, it had some tea tree oil, some things like that. And I put it on there. It cleared it up quickly. So it was great for that. Let's see, some of the other things I like to use it for: oil pulling. If you have any kind of oral health issues, gums, teeth, whatever, that are not healthy, oil pulling, which is just a little bit, like a tablespoon's worth in your mouth. You swish it around. Again, because it gets hard, you don't want to spit it down your drain, but I like to do it in the shower because like 5 or 10 minutes you should do it. And, so you don't ever want to spit that down the drain. So I just get like a little paper cup, I put it in there, I take a little swig, I swish it around while I'm taking a shower, and then I spit it back out in the cup and I put that in the trash. I also sometimes will put a drop of clove essential oil or wintergreen because that's great for oral health as well. So something else that's great for is chapped lips. You can put it on your lips. Cold sores. I've actually made some chapsticks with that in it, very moisturizing. I've even made my own mascara. It had a little bit of beeswax and coconut oil and some lavender, which is really good for lengthening and strengthening your eyelashes. And then I colored mine brown with some cocoa powder, or you can use activated charcoal if you like black mascara. It's great. You can look it up. If you follow me on Pinterest, I do believe I've pinned a couple different kind of recipe concoctions that you can use for that. It's great as a hair moisturizer. You can put it in your hair, wait about 10 minutes, and then wash it out. It's good for like dandruff, psoriasis. It's great for all kinds of skin conditions. Another neat thing that I found recently is called oil cleansing. So I have especially oily skin, and you would never think to clean your skin with oil, but here's the thing is that oil breaks down oil. So you can, if you've washed your face to get the surface dirt off, and you take one of those little cotton rounds and you just dip it in a little bit of coconut oil and you wipe it all around, and then you take a clean one and you wipe it off. I couldn't believe how much junk came off of my skin. And because my skin is oily, the tendency is to want to dry it out and put products on it that's going to take away the oil. Well, then your skin's going to reproduce that oil to try and balance it back. But if you leave that oil on your skin, then your skin doesn't need to produce oil, and it actually has a nice smoothing effect for your skin. My skin feels very soft now. And sometimes I'll put a drop of frankincense oil because that's also good for younger, youthful looking skin. And it's also great. It has a natural SPF. So if you go out in the sun, it will help protect that. And I've actually made my own sunscreen where I put carrot seed oil, essential oil, in with it. And beeswax is good because that keeps it waterproof. And there's some other things. I think shea butter. I think I've also pinned that recipe as well. But that's great. It's a great natural sunblock. And so as far as cooking, here's something that a lot of people don't know is that, for example, olive oil. We cook a lot of things with olive oil, but it actually becomes toxic when you make it too hot. So if you're cooking something at a high temperature, you can use coconut oil because it maintains high heats very well and it does not become toxic to our system. I like popping my popcorn with it. And one of my favorite recipes, I learned this because it gets hard when it's cold. If you mix it with a little cocoa powder and honey to sweeten it, and you dip some strawberries in it, and you can put those on a tray in the freezer, and you get those little hard shell chocolate. Oh, it's so healthy for you. It's delicious. So those are some of my favorite uses. I think that, and then there's something, I think they call it bullet coffee, where instead of creamer, you can put it in your coffee in the morning to help with your digestion and stuff like that. And that will, you have to kind of keep stirring it though, because the oil will rise to the top. And that's kind of an acquired taste. I like it. It's not my favorite, but every once in a while I'll drink it. And so that's another way to incorporate it into your daily regimen. So I can't wait to hear about all the ways that you use coconut oil, or ask me questions. But I definitely encourage you to start incorporating that into your daily healthy living lifestyle. So I hope this has helped. You all be blessed and be well, and I will see you next time.